Hello there, everybody. My name is Arseni. Welcome to Eduonix, where today we're going to be talking about how you can increase your salary as a software developer. So I'm not a expert in increasing your salary as a software developer by any means, but I am doing just about medium, so I know what I'm talking about here. So to increase your salary as a software developer, so first of all, I'm guessing that you're in one of three boats here. So first of all, either you're at your job and you want to increase your salary, so you don't care if you move to a new job or if you stay at your own job, you just want to increase your salary. Two, you're at a job and you just want to increase your salary, but you don't want to move to a new job. You like your job, you like your colleagues, you like your boss. You just would like to get paid a little bit more. And three, you don't have a job and you're just generally looking to know how you can make more as a software developer. So I'd say if you're in position number one, you're probably in the best position. And if you're in position number three, you're in the worst position because you don't have a job. So you're really looking for a job as fast as possible because you got to pay the bills. And so you're at a negotiating disadvantage essentially. So you got to get a job, and you can't afford maybe to pass up a few offers because a few better offers might come along. Anyway, so in any case, these five points will help you to go ahead and increase your salary as a software developer. Okay, so the first thing you got to do if you want to increase your salary as a software developer is, so essentially, when I say understand the market is you want to do your research and you want to understand what people in your experience range, in your with your given technical skills, and in your location generally earn, when they go into a job. Because when you do become a software developer, when you sign up to become a software developer, when you get hired, when you go into an interview with a software developer, you can know for sure that the person that's interviewing you, the recruiter, most certainly knows 100% what the salary range for people with your experience, skill set, and location generally earn. And if you don't know that, then you're going to be at a disadvantage. You're going to be at a negotiating disadvantage when you sign up for when you essentially negotiate the salary, because he's gonna know generally how much people earn, and you're not, and so you maybe like people earn generally from $1,000 to $1,000,000 a year where you are software developers. So somewhere in there, you're pretty sure that it's somewhere between there, but you're not 100% sure. And so if you go in there, he's gonna give you a lowball answer. And since you don't really know the market, you're going to go ahead and be forced to accept that lowball answer, because you don't know if you go higher, if you're asking for something unreasonable, or if you're asking for something very reasonable, but that recruiter, or if you're asking for something very reasonable, but that recruiter is just trying to lowball you. So essentially, that is a problem that's happening and happening. That's a problem if you don't understand the market. So understand the market, know the market, so you can go in there having a clear idea of what you would expect to get paid. Okay, so after you understand the market, that's pretty much useless if you don't actually. So if you don't actually, a lot of software developers that I see, not a lot, but the software developers that I know, some of my friends that I asked in preparation for this video, they said actually that they didn't actually negotiate their salary. And when I asked why, they generally just said, I don't really like the hassle of it. So I just want to get hired as fast as possible, get to coding. I didn't become a software developer to, negotiate business deals. I became a software developer to develop software. It's important to negotiate your salary. Just because you're a software developer, it doesn't mean that you're not part of society. You still have to negotiate your salary. Maybe you don't really like the idea of, negotiating your salary, trying to one-up the other, or not really one-up the other, convince the other person to not do what he wants, do what you want. It's tricky business, and it can get quite uncomfortable at times. But the point is, the thing to remember is that your recruiter is used to it. He does it all the time. So the faster you just accept that it's normal and do it, the better. So yeah, actually negotiate. So that's what you need to do. You need to actually negotiate. Once you're actually negotiating, you need to go ahead and so when you present your worth, you're essentially you're essentially presenting why the recruiter should do what you want and not what he wants. So not pay you a little bit, but pay you more. And that's presenting your worth. Now, it's important also to know who you're presenting your worth to. So presenting your worth as a whole could be a lot of things, but it really depends on who you're talking with. In most cases, if you're talking with just an interviewer or a recruiter, then most likely you're going to want to talk about technical skills and work experience. So, I have these I know these languages, I know these frameworks, I can demonstrate, like this, I can demonstrate my knowledge of them. I've worked on these jobs, and so on and so on. This is the skills that I learned on these jobs and things like that. If you're talking with a CTO or maybe someone in management, like maybe a senior software engineer, then he's gonna value things like projects that you've already done. He's essentially going to value your ability to solve problems, and he's going to care more about the bottom line. So he's the person that you're going to want to tell your successful projects to, tell some very difficult problems that you solved with coding with, and just generally how you would structure a project, maybe things like that, how you would design a project. So, and he won't really care quite as much generally about the framework or language or tools that you use for the job. Okay, so after you've presented your worth, an important thing to not do is not. In order to not undervalue yourself, you really need to understand that there is nothing to be gained from you making less than you are worth, because it will create a situation where your employer won't value you as much as you are worth. So that will lead to your employer maybe, giving you easier tasks to do, maybe not challenging you as much, not expecting as much from you. When a person is worth, when you're not paying a person a lot, it really doesn't matter it doesn't matter as much how he's doing his job, how well he's doing it, things like that. It just doesn't matter as much as if you're paying him more. And when you are paying him more, that recruiter or your boss, not recruiter, your boss is going to push you essentially more to go ahead and do better work faster, give you harder projects and things like that. And in the long term, that's actually going to be good for you. Because that will make you a better software developer, and it's going to make you more hireable everywhere. So definitely don't undervalue yourself. Okay, so you've done all those things, and maybe you got the job already and everything. And this leads me to point 5. That's going to be. So what I mean by this is that you're always going, even if you're at a job, you're pretty happy, you're always going to want to be looking for different jobs. Not actively looking, not spending all your time on it, but just maybe once a week for maybe like 30, 40 minutes. On LinkedIn, maybe you're not actively looking for jobs, but you're just looking for jobs. You're interested in what people have, because most of the times, the most effective way to increase your salary is to not go to your employer and say, I want a raise, but to go to a different job that will go ahead and pay you more. Because, we all live in capitalism. You gotta understand at a certain point that if another company is willing to pay you more, this really ties in with number 4 of not undervaluing yourself. If another company is willing to pay you more, you staying at your company and working for your boss, maybe he's a bad boss. Maybe, the company just as a whole isn't working very well. If you stay there and they have a good software developer like you there, it's bad for everybody. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for everybody. It's bad for you, most of all. And so by you having a different company, you as a good engineer moving to a different company, then that's going to go ahead and have that company, since if they understand that they can utilize you essentially better, and in result pay you more, then that's going to be good for everybody, essentially, for that company and for you as well, and the long term for the company you're at now. I mean, there's really no point in going ahead and if the company really isn't utilizing you very well and it's under bad management, then eventually it's gonna fail. And the faster the good engineers leave, the faster it fails. So you want to have a company that fails fast and not just slowly going down and down for 10 years while everybody sort of gets used to it and loses their skills, and then at 10 years it fails, and then everybody can't find any skills. So the faster the company fails in that case, the better. And by you looking for other positions at other companies, then that sort of opens you up to the market and makes that better. Okay, so to recap those 5 points, first of all, understand the market. So do your research, know what this typical software engineer in your position gets paid. Actually negotiate, so don't just accept anything that the company gives you. Try to negotiate. There isn't, I mean, I personally haven't had an experience with any company. I've worked for a few companies, and I haven't had an experience where, I go up to them and I tell them that, they give me an offer. I pass the interview, they give me the offer, and then I tell them, give them a counter offer essentially. So I negotiate, and they tell me, well, since you're negotiating, we're not gonna take you. No, I mean they gave you the offer. They're interested in you. Most likely they gave you the offer anticipating that you're going to negotiate it. So go ahead and do negotiate the offer that they give you. Number 3, present your worth. So always have them understand why you're a good software developer, why they should hire you, so that they don't give you a low ball offer. You're going to want to you're going to want to highball them. That's what you want to do. Don't undervalue yourself. Presenting your worth essentially makes it so that the employer doesn't undervalue you, but you have to not undervalue yourself either. It sounds kind of cliche, but yeah, it is important. Don't undervalue yourself. Understand that you're a good, have realistic views about your software development, and don't just think that you're the worst, because you just are. You're always the worst, right? And always be looking for alternatives. So never just sit down on one job and then never look for anything, because, I mean, most likely if there is something better, then you're never going to find it. So yeah, always do be looking for alternatives. All right, and other than that, then that is actually all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Eduonix. We got a ton of cool stuff on here. So what I talked about was, it's more like soft skills to improve your so these are more soft skills to increase your salary. But if you really want to increase your salary using hard skills, then you got to learn new technologies, new frameworks, new tools. And coincidentally, Eduonix actually has a lot of video tutorials where you can learn new technologies, new frameworks, new tools, so that you can utilize your knowledge of those technologies, frameworks, and tools to go ahead and prop up all 5 of these steps. So, those working together increase salary. That's how it works. So yeah, if you think I left something off, I mean, I most certainly left something off. This was like a 12-minute video. If you know something that would help others, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Other than that, this has been Arseni for Eduonix. Till soon.